Today, I'm completing 100% of Papa's Bakeria as part of my ultimate journey to beat every single Papa's game. That means serving all 101 customers, mastering every special and minigame, earning all 90 sticker achievements, and worst of all, achieving an 100% perfect service quality day. But this playthrough was unlike any other. Over the 50+ hours I spent with this cursed game, you will watch me change from a naive employee joyfully celebrating Pie Day to a broken shell of a baker. Let's make some pies. You already know the drill, Bighead Charlie. As always, Bighead. Before beginning my employment at the next franchise of our Papa journey, I was prompted to choose my dream job. I wasn't expecting this. I thought I was all in on the pies. With no pie-based positions available, I naturally chose the video game store. I submitted my resume on Work Wrangler, applied for the position, and got a phone call almost instantly. And eager for this new, unexpected adventure, I pulled up to the Westview Mall with all my belongings packed in the car. I guess I uprooted my entire life to work at a GameStop and strolled in with a briefcase for some reason. Like, what the heck does she have in there? But when I arrived at the store, I received some terrible news. This is the worst day of my life. No! But as if by divine intervention, Papa sprang up behind me and offered me a job. I just moved across the country, had zero other prospects, and yet again, I'd somehow found myself roped into working for Papa Louie. I said, no, not again. Not another Rhea. Despite the sudden nature of this employment, Papa, as usual, refused to train me in any capacity, so I was quite confused on my first go-around. Excuse me? Well, essentially, there are 3 different stations in Papa's Bakeria. In the first, you need to select the correct crust type the customer ordered and pour the fillings evenly to the lines indicated. Then, you must bake the pie to absolute perfection, keeping a close eye on the timer. And lastly, you've got to symmetrically place toppings like syrups, whipped cream, peanuts, and so on in the right quantity and order. In no time, the pie was done baking and things didn't seem too bad so far. But the real challenge was yet to come. What is this? Oh my god. Okay. Oh no, no, no. This is terrible news. This is so bad. This caramel syrup did not go fantastically, but still, I finished off the pie with 8 banana slices for a score of 99 on my first order. Not too bad. Our second and final order of the day was Big Polly's, and he ordered our first dual flavored pie. Half cherry and half apple. Kind of. And instead of a top crust, he ordered a streusel topping, which went just about as well as my second attempt at the caramel drizzle. Just one day in at the Bakeria, and I already knew the topping station was gonna be my biggest obstacle to overcome, but with my first day done and dusted, I took on the first of Foodini's after-work minigames. Burgerzilla? Wait, this is new. What is this? So it's basically the Lilo and Stitch sandwich stacker game, but without the moldy cheese and fish skeletons. Trust me, I'm well versed in the art of falling sandwich ingredients. After nailing 3 absurdly tall and structurally unsound burgers, it was time to start up our second day, welcoming Johnny and adding fudge filling to the menu. Cooper came in to try out some of our new filling too, but most unexpectedly, what is there? No top? No topping? No streusel? No nothing? I wasn't trained for that. I really was not trained for that. I mean, technically, I was barely trained for any of this, but an open-faced pie was genuinely the least of my problems at this point. Cherry swirl, what the? I am off-roading. What the heck was that? Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. We're just not gonna talk about this one, okay? We're just not gonna talk about it. It looks like a crime scene. Despite this absolute tragedy of topping placements, Johnny still gave me a 96, and my second attempt at the cherry syrup swirl went much better. Oh, hey, that's not bad. What am I? Is this I just... Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? You mean the outer ring? Was that good? Wrong pie? How was I supposed to know when the ticket was being covered? Yes, it's true. I accidentally served Akari's pie with whiffs toppings and got my first non-committal shrug of the playthrough. A devastating blow to my ego and my income. This was shaping up to be one of the roughest starts in a Papa's game yet, and things would only get much, much worse. On the bright side, I did have another chance to practice the outer ring whipped cream, and the second attempt went much better. I even managed to crawl my way to rank 2, earning the title of Fudge Fanatic. And following 2 rounds of one of my favorite minigames ever, Rico's Chili Works, I used my earnings to purchase a doorbell for the shop. Sue was the first to test it out, also unlocking white chocolate syrup, a relatively normal addition. Maybe we're suffering, but the ingredients are okay. Oh, Cletus! I jotted down Sue's cherry pie order with the new white chocolate drizzle, and Cooper's order with cherry syrup and cherries on top. The man knows what he wants. And this cherry hype only continued with Johnny, who brought in our first golden envelope. Now, every 3 days, a random customer will bring one of these bad boys in, and if you make their order well enough, they'll grant you with a special. If you make it well. Oh, this is the worst game. With this first special on the line, I could not afford to screw up Johnny's pie, and somehow it actually turned out good. And by good, I mean all the syrup stayed on the pie. It's a pretty low bar right now. This score of 90 was good enough to grant me our first special, fittingly, the cherry cordial. It was starting to feel like things were ramping up fast though, because immediately after this accomplishment, I learned that customers can ask you to stack larger toppings on the flat ones. Don't freak out, we're okay. I must admit though, the cherries on top of the banana slices were quite darling. Was it a perfect pie though? Of course not. Does it go to 100? Does it go that high? To add insult to injury, I ranked up again that evening from fudge fanatic to a rank 3 pie decorator. Literally don't even call me that. That's just like upsetting to me right now. Fortunately, I was able to take out some of my workplace frustrations on Papa's Raceway in our next minigame, but it wasn't as cathartic as I'd hoped. Why do I feel like I'm being apprehended by the law? They both have their sirens on and everything. It's not that serious. Oh, it's a little serious now. Hello? That wasn't road safe. With a solid last place finish to end off the day, I changed our special to the cherry cordial and greeted Taylor as well as meringue topping. This meringue topping immediately made me feel extremely uneasy. Honestly, was uneasy about the whole career path in general, especially after Taylor's visit that morning. A 91 topping score. Are we looking at the same pie? I even felt like Sue's white chocolate syrup went much worse, but somehow it scored better than Taylor's. This only reinforced what I've always known as a veteran food service worker. The customer is not always right, but you just have to let them think they are if you want to get tipped. My mom said you're bad at this. Yes, true. But that's okay, because it's okay to be bad the first time you do something, but then it's about diligence and practice and getting better over time. Anyway, thanks to your mom for being here. With a beautiful swirl to finish off Maramallo's apple pie, I took to the pitcher's mound in strikeout. I channeled all my anxiety about this job into some beautiful pitches, but all this stress about upkeeping the Bakeria alone would soon be gone, because as I started the next day, time to hire some help. Okay. Now, as I'd mentioned, this was the 5th of Papa's Rias I was taking on, and in every previous iteration, we've been accompanied by our loyal companion, Bighead Benny. Still, I set up a poll to see if my chat wanted to create a new character, and the answer was a resounding no. Let's make Benny. Why did I even ask? As always, we gave Benny his greasy head of balding pink hair, his signature big head, and that beautiful beard. With the addition of some nice glasses, Benny was, in my mind, perfect, as he's always been. But I was getting some serious pushback from chat. You'd think after everything we've been through together, I would know what my beloved Benny looked like. But a member of my community, Davis, compiled every iteration, and yeah, no, I don't know what's going on with my little noggin. Oh my gosh, he had freckles? What dimension am I living in? With Benny back on the team, I felt emotionally equipped to welcome Janana and her banana filling. But seeing Benny in all his forms across the Papa universe was honestly a jarring experience that I was still recovering from. He has teeth. I'm looking at his gums right now. Straight up, I'm looking at his gummy mouth right now. I guess he doesn't have teeth. Okay, Janana, I'm sorry. Following genuinely 3 years of banana placing, I served off Janana's pie and received a frustrating 99 build score on an otherwise perfect pie. And from there, it was back to the syrup spirals, which were still bad. But at least they were staying on the pie now. Just take it away. How is that a 99? Instead of spiraling inside out, I decided to experiment going outside in with very similar results. The whole topping station was just giving me grief. The whipped cream, so hard to maneuver, the shaved chocolate, seemingly impossible to distribute evenly. But you can't say I didn't place those bananas beautifully. Banana buddy. I deserve that. After today, you know? There's a lot of banana in that thing. With this tiny win, I proceeded to take on that evening's entertainment, a Halloween-flavored hot shot. Turns out, though, this version of the Foodini Classic was especially hard because the licorice monsters were so thin and noodly, making them really difficult to hit. Still, I was able to win all 3 rounds and start my next shift on a high note, greeting our first Romano family member as well as our first new crust type, Creamy-O Crust, which I'm guessing is like ground up Oreos? Not ideal. It's so hard to tell if stuff is baked. That's also a chronic issue in Great British Bake Off, so I know I'm not the only one. While Carlos's Creamy-O Crust baked and possibly burned in the oven, Franco approached with a shiny envelope in hand, also ordering the Creamy-O Crust. I have 0 bake alarms, guys. If it's burned, that is not my fault. Still, Carlos's pie came out fine, which meant everything came down to the dreaded outer ring whipped cream. Would this be our first perfect order? I believe I can do this well. I lost that belief very quickly. This small gap in the whipped cream was all it took to bring a perfect pie down to a 99. But I was granted our first sticker for getting a perfect bake score on 20 orders, and another right after for reaching 3 stars on the cherry cordial special. And despite this terrible syrup swirl, Franco gifted me our next special, the apple crisp. Things just continue to get better and better. Wait, Solo! Our first 100%! I was so empowered by this small glimpse of pie perfection that I took on our next minigame with high spirit. Good old slider escape. Helping the Paddy skedaddly was no problem at all, and with that squared away, I'd reached my first payday. A whole week of work for 170 big ones. These good vibes continued into day 7 with the addition of little Eduardo. Already our second Romano family member. Oh my god, little Eduardo is gaming? And I too was gaming because after my shift that day, I was back to my all-time favorite, Mitch's Mess. This was my game to win, and sure enough, I managed to find all the items scattered throughout the mess, earning myself a medium groove trunk, which I promptly tossed into the lobby, just in time for the new year. I hoped that welcoming Xandra would bring some more perfect scores to the mix, just like her twin brother, but that was to be determined, because along with her multicolored style came a very multicolored filling. Oh my. That looks like it takes a lot of resources. I see Ninjoy. Of course, Xandra ordered a pie full of this tutti frutti filling, and my goodness, it is a concerning amount of fruit. If I've learned anything from the Great British Bake Off, it's that moisture plus pastry equals soggy bottoms. But I guess somehow Papa finds a way. You can see the fruit staring at you through the vents. My hopes that Xandra would give me a perfect score were quickly quashed with a 96% build score, but I mean, I cannot accept blame. As I said, soggy bottom. As usual, Franco's syrup went disastrously wrong, but the chocolate whipped cream actually looked decent. That's not bad, and it's kind of covering the disaster that happened underneath it. Okay, Franco was not fooled. Drizzle isn't your strong suit. No. I was starting to lose faith in the spiral syrup technique, so I took a hint from my chat and decided to try a zigzag pattern for Big Polly. Oh, that's huge! The zigzag had promise, so I tried it again on Cooper's Cherry Cordial, and although it led to my first 5-star special and Bronze Star customer, I still only got a 96 topping score, and yet I still had hope. For little Eduardo's pie, I experimented with a wider zigzag, and this time, I got an 100! To finish off this day of progress, we were visited by Jojo, the food critic of the Papa universe that grades your order more harshly than any of the other customers. If you satisfy his taste, you'll earn a blue ribbon, which gives you a tip bonus for the next couple days. Thankfully, I managed to earn the first blue ribbon from Jojo, as well as the new rank of fruit filler. Oh good. And 3 incredibly unstable burgers later, I changed the special to the apple crisp and suited myself up with the fingerless gloves I'd won from Burgerzilla. I was really hoping that the extra grip would come in handy as I perfected my sauce drizzle technique. I'm not messing around anymore, now I'm actually baking pies, you know? All gloved up, I greeted Ivy and added 2 new ingredients to the menu: toffee filling and Yum-N-M cookies. Ivy ordered a half banana, half toffee pie, which honestly sounds quite scrumptious, and while that baked away, I greeted Sue, who'd brought in a golden envelope. Continuing to practice my zigzags, I added white chocolate drizzle to Sue's pie and earned our next special, the banoffee pie. Sounds exactly like what Ivy just ordered. And to cap off the shift, I earned a sticker for not spending any money in the shop for 7 days. Bighead Charlie is a frugal gal. Up to this point, I'd saved up just under $290, giving me more than enough spending power to purchase the first 2 bake alarms and our first cook booster. I was super jazzed to hop into my newly upgraded kitchen and test things out, though I was not so jazzed about our final New Year's ingredients. Wow. Rico ordered both of these new toppings as well as the Yum-N-M cookies, and wow is right. This is a wild pie, by the way. Sometimes you just gotta pause and look at what you're doing and be like, oh. Topping selection aside, it was a good pie, but Rico docked points on the build score, and that really set the tone for the rest of the day. Still though, I was able to gather enough tips to purchase the last bake alarm, and with a fully upgraded oven, continued onward. Things started off pretty standard, with our first visitor, Charissa, predictably ordering the most cherry of cherry pies possible. But as I prepared little Eduardo's wacky little order, I was given some terrible news. Slipline has recently canonized Mo Joy as a couple? Say what? For those who don't know, Mo is my beloved. We first locked eyes during my time at Papa's Freezeria, and it was truly love at first sight. But heartbreakingly, Ninjoy, his arch nemesis. Oh yeah, Mo is like a super villain, and Ninjoy is kind of like a villain, but then also a vigilante. I don't really know. The Papa lore is very extensive. I was devastated. So devastated, in fact, that I forgot the Yum-N-M cookies on little Eduardo's pie. Oh my god, is it the Happy Valentine's Day post? Who knows? They could be friends. Maybe Joy just likes making pizzas in that shape. The rest of the day was a blur. Distracted and broken-hearted, my pie for Mayor Mallow only seemed to muster a vague nod of approval. It's okay. If it's official and that's the decision that they've made, I respect that. Usually, Strikeout is an opportunity for me to get out of my head and get into the game, but even here in my sanctuary, I was losing focus. I did get the 3rd member of the Romano family quartet the next day, as well as Polka Dot Crust, but it didn't do all that much to improve my mood. I needed a friend to visit and raise my spirits. When is Grammy gonna come in? I use this thought as motivation. If there was any chance of seeing Grammy, another one of my favorite customers, I needed to be at the top of my game. So I dove all in on refining my pie baking craft, and honestly, my zigzag drizzle was getting pretty good, to the point where my main area of improvement was actually the build score. Once again, little Eduardo strolled in with his weird 3-flavored pie combination, but with a special on the line this time. I saw this as the perfect opportunity to practice the build station. With the lag from my emulator, getting the fillings right on the line was a challenge, but still, I did it well enough to earn my next special. Chouflé pie? Classic Pennsylvania Dutch recipe featuring a super rich filling made with brown sugar and molasses. Now I want pie. This always happens. Oh my. Watch this just being 100, even though it is actually not a circle. I like As always, Papa giveth and Papa taketh away. And in this case, he giveth our second 100% order, which was 100% undeserved. With a 99% service quality score for the day, I returned to the Halloween shot, and the licorice monsters were really giving me the heebie-jeebies. They freak me out. Like, the implication that their mouths are, like, untangling is so unsettling. Oh my gosh, we're in it, we're in it. I still managed to win every round and used some of my hard-earned cash to unlock the second cook booster, which left only one cook booster and the special sign left to buy. There really are not that many upgrades available in Papa's Bakeria, but one step closer to a fully equipped kitchen, I greeted Yippee, probably the only Girl Scout in the Papaverse. Will there be cookies on this? Maybe. You're kidding me? No cookies? I mean, I guess, yeah, that's your job. You gotta have that work-life balance. I respect that. Yippie's fudge and cherry pie scored a 99, as did Charissa's apple crisp, which was actually the last one required to fully 5-star that special. It was genuinely 99s across the board from everyone except Zolo, literally my king. We just need to do that with every other character before Zolo. It was at this point that I also noticed, with the exception of my fingerless gloves, I'd been wearing the same outfit for 2 weeks straight, which is just sad. A good outfit can be the best confidence booster, so I changed my look entirely, putting on a chef's hat, a yellow jacket, red fingerless gloves, and a matching shirt. This is the outfit of a confident woman. And in that vein, today's video is actually sponsored by Holtzkern, a watch and jewelry brand perfect for all the Bighead Bennies and Bighead Charlies in your life. Bighead Charlie's drip might be questionable at best. The fingerless gloves were certainly a choice, but in real life, I love to express myself through the jewelry I wear, and I am genuinely in love with the free play necklace and the Zendala and Campania rings from Holtzkern. All of their pieces are made of natural materials like precious gemstones or blue nacre, and are manufactured in small quantities to ensure the highest quality and ethical standard. Better yet, every product comes with a 2-year guarantee and free worldwide shipping from Vienna. And if you're in the US, fret not, Holtzkern's handled all the tariff stuff behind the scenes, so your items will arrive in 5 to 9 business days without any hassle. I am genuinely not joking when I say I've been wearing my new Holtzkern stuff like constantly. Literally, you can see them in any of my recent streams. Wore the necklace to a 4th of July barbecue and got multiple compliments while decimating my friends at Cornhole. So if you're interested in picking something up as a gift for your friends, family, or yourself, make sure to use my code Charlie for 15% off the entire website. Thank you so much to Holtzkern for sponsoring this video, and with that, let's get back to it. Oh, I also dressed Benny up too. It's sort of an homage to the gummy onions from Papa's Freezeria. Man, I miss those guys. As we entered our 3rd week at the Bakeria, Gino Romano, the final member of the Romano family quartet, was added to the roster. And speaking of the Romanos, Bruno was in as well with a new special. Having earned our next blue ribbon from JoJo, I ended off the day with yet another round of Burgerzilla. Oh my gosh, the ingredients are raining from the sky at an alarming rate. Benny is doing an amazing and beautiful job. Benny, what? Oh my god. Making burgers may not be our strong suit. Honestly, neither was pie, but it is unfortunately our only source of income at the moment, so I was back in the Bakeria the following morning, scribbling down Julep's order. Now, this little Debbie had previously earned herself a spot on my hate list by single-handedly ruining what would have been a perfect day in Papa's Pizzeria. However, I could not dwell on such thing. New Rhea, new Bighead Charlie. Hey, what pie do you want? What do you want? And she wanted an apple pie with 12 freaking bananas on it. I had to painstakingly drag each one of those suckers on top. It was terrible, but it wasn't all for nothing because Julep awarded me with a perfect topping score. Actually, my 20th one. Surprised I've even gotten that many with the way things have gone so far. In fact, we'd been in the pie biz so long that Valentine's Day, our second holiday, was right around the corner. In preparation, I went on a bit of a spending spree, buying a ton of pink clothing as well as our final bake booster. Fully kitted out for the season of love and with the sticker to prove it, I changed blasted up the lobby and officially met Scarlet alongside a couple red berries.
Oh my. Can you imagine the texture eating that? Like all those little pomegranate seeds?
Scarlet started out strong by ordering 1 serving of pomegranate filling smothered in cheesecake, which texturally sounds pretty vile. But she did give me a perfect score, so I will not judge. Little Eduardo's choufle pie did not get the same recognition, but he was my 5th Bronze Star customer and a beloved senior citizen, so I respect his opinion. What I don't respect is a person whose entire personality is a fruit ordering a dozen of said fruit on their pie.
I actually don't get paid enough for this. This is like an hour-long job.
Of course, Charissa took issue with the slight off-centering of the top crust, which is irritating. I did make up for it though by ending the day with a near-perfect score from Radlin, a closer, and they grade way more harshly than the other patrons, so I felt like that boded well for the future. Hello, future Charlie here. The future is not bright. This game is an actual nightmare, and it wrecked me mentally. Okay, continuing on. The Valentine's Day festivities continued with the addition of some lovey-dovey ingredients like heart crust and heart cookies, and I also noticed the shop next door was now selling bouquets. But my loyal customers know the only way to my heart is game progression in the form of new and 5-starred specials. The way to make me hate you? Ordering 12 fruit toppings on your pie.
Just buy a carton. Just buy a carton of raspberries.
I continued to labor over the dozens of berry toppings, but at least I was getting perfect scores.
Do other people do the drizzle? Because I only saw swirl, and I think I'm going to be the drizzle pioneer. The drizzle on the meringue is not the play though.
Despite clearly knowing the drizzle was a mistake, I kept doing it and experimented a little with some techniques for the other ingredients too.
Okay, I'm going for a new chocolate shaving method. Ooh, that wasn't bad. Okay, it was bad.
The decorating was not going how I wanted, but I was still making some money, so that's nice. With my modest savings, I purchased the special sign for $250, which is actually absurd. A fun new sticker for $884.50 worth of business expenses paid with my own tip. Like, I would love to be reimbursed, please, Papa. To get back at Papa for this business malpractice and get another sticker, I next tackled the sticker for throwing away 5 fully cooked pies in a single day. With only 3 oven spots, balancing real pies and garbage pies was honestly a logistical challenge. Eventually, though, I decided to tank a bad weight score and loaded up the oven with garbage pies. No hate on pecans, it's just that they're expensive and I'm trying to send a message.
We got the sticker!
After a couple embarrassing rounds of slider escape, which, I mean, the slider is still escaping, is it not? I had reached my next payday. And to start off the new week, I was approached yet again by Yippee, but this time with a golden envelope. I crafted her fudge pie with the utmost care and received the,
What? What did that say? What the heck was that?
Whatever it was, we'd be making it soon because right after, we mastered the plantain crunch. Following my shift, I took on some more Mitch's mess and threw the first round to click 3 different cookies for the cookie clickin' sticker. Which is funny because I literally had cookie clicker running on my second monitor, like this whole time, like all throughout. I'm actually in the process of 100%ing it, so make sure to keep an eye out for that video when it drops in literally like 3 years.
Premium cheesecake. Who signed off on that?
A child named Yippee signed off on that. But I mean, the special did give a bonus customer star, which was pretty helpful. It was day 22 in the Bakeria, and first thing that morning, I was greeted by Greg's smiling face and chocolate syrup. And I don't know if it was the holiday or the season or whatever, but so many people were ordering an excessive amount of placeable toppings. It was starting to cause real physical pain.
Oh my gosh, my finger is in agony. This is just like so much whipped cream.
I suffered through it to earn myself another blue ribbon and then fired up Burgerzilla, hoping for a nice, relaxing time. But I truly think Papa was getting his vengeance for the pecan waste.
Okay, Benny, I'm gonna need you to start running a little faster. Who is eating these burgers, by the way? Or are we just doing this to like win a Guinness World Record or something? Like, why are we doing this?
Benny!
Okay, thank you. It's me now. I am at the wheel of the burger. Who is throwing these before? Why?
It did not go well, and while recovering from the shock, I took some time to peruse through my sticker achievements, of which I completed 20 so far. Moving forward, I decided to take on the Make 'em Wait sticker, which entails serving the first customer of the day last. This time around, that lucky individual turned out to be Peggy, and for reasons I cannot explain, as soon as I took Peggy's order, I totally forgot about all the sticker business.
Okay, ready? Speed run, ready? Boom, 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 boom. Cheesecake. Are you not serving first customer last? Oh.
Really took the wind out of my sails. As Peggy languished in the lobby, I continued to serve everybody else, even earning my first Silver Star customer. When I finally served up Peggy's pie hours later, she was understandably upset. But my takeaway from all of this was that if my lobby wasn't worth the 8-hour wait, it must not be good enough. With my $600 in savings, I headed to the shop for a little design overhaul. I bought a ton of pomegranate posters for the advertiser sticker, and then dropped a pretty penny on 3 large shamrock tables in preparation for both both St. Paddy's Day and the achievement for filling my lobby with 12 tables. Could I be entertained in this lobby for hours while waiting for my pie? Probably not, no. But it seemed to be more than sufficient for Roy.
Roy! Sure. Whatever the people want.
I dutifully baked Scarlett's pie and earned myself a Bronze Star customer and the Neapolitan pie special. Honestly, it was a pretty solid day, and I even graduated from a Choco champion to a Crumb Buddy, a title that I happily embraced. And I quickly realized that the next day was the beginning of St. Paddy's Day, meaning it was back to the shop to make some impulsive purchases. Namely, 3 more large shamrock tables. With a quick change into a more appropriate outfit, we fired up the next day and were instantly outdone by Giorgito, dressed in full leprechaun attire. Golden horseshoe in hand, he ordered the new Choco Mint custard and chocolate meringue on his pie.
Okay, we gotta get better at the streusel, and when I say we, I mean me.
Giorgito's pie was, like, good, but also not good at all, because for some reason the syrup and sprinkled toppings interact so weirdly with the meringue texture. I don't know what it is. After that disappointing start to the holiday, Julep's pie was like a breath of fresh air. Literally just a basic apple pie with a single thing of whipped cream and a cherry.
That is the simplest pie of all time. Thank you.
Johnny graced us with another perfect score, as did Yippee. It was looking like the dream lineup for our perfect day was Julep, Johnny, Yippee. Julep loves it so much she comes back. Johnny's like, oh, me too. Yippee gets one for her aunt, and then Zolo orders twice. Obviously, this was not gonna happen, and I mean, having earned so many perfect scores in one day, it just really felt like I was getting better and better. With a choufle pie for Bruna, I got my 15th Bronze Star customer and used all the tips I'd earned that day to purchase, you guessed it, another large shamrock table.
I'm really invested in the large table, you know?
And in line with the Irish vibes, I acquired the Celtic knot crust the following morning.
That's cool.
I just really hope Papa's not making me cut that intricate pattern out myself. Now, whenever I play these Papa's games, I start to crave the food I'm making so bad. When I played Papa's Pizzeria, I bought myself a square-cut pepperoni pizza, which I'm really curious. Did you know that was a thing? But this next day just so happened to be March 14th, otherwise known as Pie Day. And of course, this was cause for celebration.
I went on an adventure. My thoughts are that we should do like one day taste a pie.
Eager to get to my first tasting, I ushered Don into the restaurant and immediately got to work on his chocolate mint pie with clover cookies. Honestly, all my pies that day sort of missed the mark. I think it was a crust centering issue, but this barely mattered to me. I was far too excited for my pie tasting.
Top tier, S tier, it's delicious, okay? I don't want to talk about it. The next one down is it's like if it's like good, but it could have been a little bit more delicious here. The middle tier, boy oh boy, that's not super remarkable. And then we have crud, and then don't talk to me or my son ever again. Here is our pecan pie. I'm not sure there's any real like pecans in it. Oh, it's all gooey in there. Look at that. Wow. I'm eating it now. It's so good. The pecan pie. Is it rash to put it in delicious? It's delicious. I'm not scared to say it.
Returning to the fake pies, I slapped mint syrup on the menu. And come to think of it, how does mint have anything to do with St. Paddy's Day? Is it just because it's green? I just feel like that's not the strongest logic. Next on the tasting menu was strawberry cream.
It's like donut filling kind of. Oh, I kind of hate the texture of it. It's like elastic. I'm a little bit confused about what it's trying to be. I don't think it's bad. Like, I think it's boy, oh boy, that's not super remarkable. Because I want to like it, but I just feels like there needs to be something more.
Following up this delicious pecan pie with this nonsense was oh so sad. But using my almost $500 in tips, I finally acquired the last of my large shamrock tables, which made me immensely happy. And with those babies placed in the lobby, I added pistachio to the menu, the last of the St. Paddy's Day toppings, as well as
chocolate coins in the wrapper?
Skylar, our newest customer, was the first to enjoy all 12 shamrock tables in their beauty, and then proceeded to order the chocolate coins on her pie, topped with cherries. Despite my doubts about putting gold-foiled chocolate coins on a pie, it definitely proved to be a good omen, because only a little while later, Giorgito showed up with a golden envelope, our next special.
Southern pecan.
I also had an important revelation that if I followed the pace of the circle going around the pie, instead of going the opposite direction, my whipped cream would be far more even. This was definitely something to keep trying out among many other improvements I still needed to make. In the Rico's Chili Works department, however, I was doing fantastic. I earned this sticker achievement for clicking 20 red pipe, my first minigame Bronze Star medal, and another sticker for winning a rare bonus prize.
Here's our next pie. It's not distinct in any kind of way. I think this is just like a basic pie crust. It's like the same texture, kinda. It's not lemony enough. It's not zingy enough, you know? I think I'm gonna give this... But you didn't scream when you ate it. This is a work environment. That one's only for if I scream? Okay, fine. Have it your way. You did that. You did that to the lemon pie. With no real need for the extra tips from the choufle pie anymore, I switched the special to the Neapolitan. And some things never change. 12 cookies, what? I am so strong. Just cherry. My finger is in agony. I don't know why. At the very least, my finger pain was not in vain because I eventually added Julep to the Bronze Star customer club along with Gino and Greg. I might try the swirl on this one. I'm just like feeling good, you know? And I'm sure that it's going to die out very fast, this feeling. Yes! The perfect swirl! Oh, it was going so well! Despite these devastating swirls, I ended the day strong with a Bronze Star from Radlin and a promotion from Clover Fan to Coin Collector, which, like, Papa, what do you think I've been doing this whole time? You think I'm here on a volunteer basis? Speaking of collecting coins, though, that evening, I took to Papa's Raceway, getting coins for the loose change sticker, but that all went out the window when Wally, one of my absolute favorite customers, pulled up to the starting line and started pushing me out of the boost pad. I thought you were literally my best friend. What? That was the most disgusting behavior I've ever seen on the racetrack. And from Wally? It was a crushing betrayal, honestly, so naturally, I made myself feel better by tasting yet another pie. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really sensitive to sugar. It's hitting me. I am feeling the pie. And round 4 of this pie tasting was dedicated to the sweet potato pie, which I had high hopes for. I think I like it. It made me want to scream, but I might just be like really like sugar high right now. That one isn't Walmart brand though. That's a good point. Paddy's Good Life. Who's Paddy? Live with love, cook with soul, get more of the good life. That is so positive and beautiful. This Patti LaBelle pie really made an impact on me, and I endeavored to return to my digital pies with her philosophy in mind. To live with love, cook with soul, and get more of the good life. And if the good life means impulsively buying egg yolk wallpaper, then baby, I'm living it. With a couple more wallpaper purchases, I got the new coat of paint sticker, and just then, something caught my eye. Oh, retro space wall. What is this? Comet-Con? There's new holidays in this one? I started day 32 at the Bakeria with a newfound excitement, welcoming the Mess King himself and key lime filling, which I also needed to serve to Julep for the greenery sticker. And a really strong start to the day with a perfect score from Mitch, so you'd assume I'd try to keep this momentum, right? But no, I got very distracted trying to explain what a fluffernutter is to my chat. 1/2 is fluff, and there's 1/2 is nut, which is peanut butter. You might be familiar. And in my feeble attempt to explain this New England delicacy, I totally forgot to put key lime filling in Julep's pie. As I earned the Neapolitan special and earned my second perfect score in a row, my chat was absolutely sounding the alarm about Julep's order. And thank goodness too, because I had enough time to scrap this one and remake her order correctly. Or incorrectly, but in the way that I need to. You get it. Guys, I'm going for it. Woo! Uh-oh. I can't tell if that was good or not. I felt so good about it in the moment, but I can't tell. I thought if I just surprised myself with a swirl, it would go better, but it did not. I did get the greenery sticker, but the aftershocks of my horrendous syrup spiral resonated throughout my chat. I am being so real with you. They did not want me swirling. Everybody is so outraged that I'm trying the swirl. I'll try it one more time, and if I get an 100, I'll dedicate my life to mastering the swirl. And if I don't get an 100, then I'll never do it again. And that's a pie day promise. Let's go, baby. Woo! No! Let me try one more time. To be fair, Maramello's swirl wasn't even that bad, but it also wasn't good. Okay, it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. I'm really sorry. So much for a pie day promise. We all agreed to put this swirl nonsense behind us and move on to more pie ranking. Wait, is that a real blueberry? In my Walmart pie? It's a real blueberry! I hate to say it. I think it's a boy, oh boy. You know what? I think it's a crud. When I returned to the RIA, I realized my customers had been waiting in a lobby packed with shamrock tables that entire time. Clearly, a redesign was long overdue, so I wiped the slate clean and got to work throwing up anything and everything green. That A is green. Those eyes are green. This is green. Okay, I'm gonna change this special to the Southern Pecan so we can start working on the mini games a little bit more seriously. That's it. Edna! Welcome, Edna! Oh, that's all marshmallow all the way down. Oh, that's so gross. I love you so much, Edna, but that is not it. Now that I was officially banned from the swirl, I needed to find a worthy replacement and decided to test out some new syrup strategies, starting with this vertical zigzag drizzle, which did not pan out. What if we try just like circle, like just coverage, you know? Somehow this freestyle loop-de-loop maneuver on Big Polly's pie got a 99% topping score. If I didn't get it on the crust, that might have been an 100. There There was a special on the line with Charissa's cherry pie, but I had faith in this loopy syrup strategy, and I was ready to risk it all. That looks good, I think. Moment of truth. The loop-de-loop? This discovery was groundbreaking. I needed to run further tests, but before doing so, I whipped up 3 marshmallow pies to leave in the oven for the end of the day. Not because I had some deep hatred for marshmallow pies, oh that's so gross, but because I had a sticker achievement to complete. And while those roasted away, I gave the loop-de-loop syrup another shot on Quinn's pie, finishing the shift with a perfect score and another Bronze Star customer. This was huge. Forget the swirl. Stupid. The loop-de-loop is the only way forward. I don't know what the odds are of having real cherry in this pie, but that would just be delightful, you know? I feel like I expect such great things from the ones that have actual fruit in them, and then they don't really deliver. I think it's a crud. I was genuinely so excited to continue stress testing our loop-de-loop technique, and Edna's mint swirl felt alright, but suddenly a star might work well, where you start at the tip of one point and go all the way across? Maybe. I mean, it was definitely worth a try. And after a couple rounds of slider escape, which resulted in my second minigame bronze medal, I returned to my tier list to try the classic pumpkin pie. It's hard because I don't think that the pumpkin pie is boy oh boy not super remarkable, but it's not an ah. At the very least, it has to go to the top of boy oh boy not super remarkable. We were covering serious ground on these real life pies and in the game with the sudden arrival of Easter. Cletus! Is Cletus a rabbit? And crushed wafers. I have issue. I take issue. Jelly beans. This is like the palate of a child. This is the palate of a 5-year-old Cletus. Thankfully, I was so focused on figuring out what shape I should put my syrup in that I didn't even have the energy to be disappointed in Cletus's jelly bean marshmallow monstrosity. As promised, I tried out the star shape next, and it turned out looking a little sus. The dollops of whipped cream and cherries felt like offerings to the god of pie, or like Papa himself, but maybe the ritual worked, because I ended up getting a perfect score from Greg. Just like with the loop-de-loop though, the scores suddenly began to go downhill. Maybe I just need to like refine the technique. Don't call me that. Don't call me a jelly bean buddy. I felt very, very lost. Even a bronze star in Mitch's mess just didn't bring me joy. But truck on I must. The final pie! We have a good old classic apple pie grandma style. Come on now. The apple is crunchy and delicious. There's cinnamon in it. I dare say it's delicious. I guess there wasn't a pie bad enough to warrant never talking to me or my son again, but knowing my new kitten Figglesworth, he would literally eat any pie served to him no matter how disgusting. These fun pie day tastings had provided a momentary escape from my virtual pie hell, but with our tier list complete, it was back to the Bakeria grind for good. And thank goodness I was locked in for the next day's editions: Mandy, flower bloom crust, and creamberry egg. This is so much to have on a pie. The lag. It's always when Benny rings the bell. He should know better. I should know. I'd been playing this on an emulator, and as we made progress in the game, it just continually got laggier and laggier. However, I would not be so easily discouraged. I was determined to achieve Bakeria perfection, and getting the award-winning pies sticker from JoJo for 5 blue ribbons gave me just the boost of motivation I needed. In the minigame department, we had reached the bronze star in several of Foodini's minigames, but Burgerzilla was still not one of them. And with 3 tickets and 3 stars left, this was my chance to catch up. Oh, and it's Benny. I love you, Benny. I do, but it's just you're not that good at this game. Are you being controlled by me? Maybe. But you could help. The falling burger ingredients became too much for poor Benny, and in his despair, he decided to simply drop all of that perfectly good food onto the ground. And honestly, I did not do too much better. The next morning, we added lavender cheeps to the menu, the last of the Easter toppings, and began working through the orders. But I must confess, I had an ulterior motive. As the last hurrah of Pie Day, I wanted to end my stream at precisely 3 hours, 14 minutes, and 15 seconds. With only a couple minutes to spare, I sped through Papa's Raceway, finally getting the sticker for collecting the coins, let Clifford say his goodbyes, and before I knew it, oh, it's 3.14. All right, goodbye. See ya. Oh, Clifford, don't eat that, please. Did I manage to make the stream VOD exactly 3 hours, 14 minutes, and 15 seconds? No. Missed it by like 2 seconds, but it's a thought that counts, right? Also, if you enjoy these videos, you should definitely join the live streams too. They're really a bunch of fun. I stream right here on YouTube, and yeah, I would love to have you there. For the next couple days, I focused on making progress, earning the 10 Silver Star Customers sticker, reaching the Bronze Star in Strikeout, and workshopping many different syrup strategies. I call this one the Curvy Drizzle, and Charissa did not like it. Although we were well into Easter, I was still wearing my St. Patty's outfit, so with my almost $1,000 in tips, I went to the shop to refresh my style, getting the updated wardrobe sticker in the process. And decked out in my brand new rabbity outfit, I hopped into day 41 with a bold idea. I was gonna swim swirl. I know. A part of me knew. I promised to never swirl again. Yet another mischievous part of me whispered, why not? This is why I don't do the swirl. This is why. As I pondered over my next technique, I decided to start progress on our next big achievement, the dance party sticker. For most of my career as a Papa Louie employee, I'd been buying jukeboxes to get my customers dancing, which cost a whopping $450 each. But since then, I'd learned that the Luau boomboxes work just as well and are a much cheaper alternative. I placed 3 of them in my lobby and ushered in Perry alongside her little bluebird tart and blueberry pie tart. It's a mini pie on top of a bigger pie? Oh, she's dancing, folks. She's dancing. Before she could even give her order, Mindy was dancing too, golden envelope and all. And mere moments later, Mandy jumped into the fray as well. Just like that, the lobby transformed into an official dance party. Honestly, it felt like acquiring stickers and making meaningful progress was a way better use of our time than obsessing over sauce patterns for now. So I looked forward to the Cherry Blossom Festival, our next holiday. And what better way to celebrate such an occasion than to spend $850 on every single flavor of bubblegum? Look at all the gum! With my line of bubblegum machines assembled in the lobby for the bubblegum bonanza sticker, I suddenly realized I'd only left myself $9 for a cherry blossom outfit. Looks like the bunny hat is here to stay. As innocent as the Cherry Blossom Festival seemed, though, things took a turn for the worst almost immediately. Ladyfinger crust! Not only is it called ladyfinger, and I don't like that. Second, wouldn't there be like massive gaps? Like, I just feel like it would leak. The pie would leak. Still, the cherry blossom crust was pretty cool, and if you're wondering why I'm wearing a sweater backwards and shaking my hand, it's because I was trying to entertain my new kitten Fig as I baked the pie. Motherhood is so hard. So cute, but so goblin. Thanks to Fig's distraction, we had a casualty in the old oven, but I served it off anyway, and this deed went totally unpunished because moments later, I was awarded with a new special, the Royal Anne, and a sticker for earning 15 special recipes. This sticker officially brought us past the halfway mark with 53% of the achievements complete. And as I pressed on, I suddenly had a horrible realization. Guys, getting 15 gold customer awards without having invitations is going to be the worst task in the world. In other Papa Louie games, you can purchase and deliver coupons to any customer you'd like, guaranteeing they'll visit you the next day. This makes getting gold star customers a lot easier since you can just invite the silver star customers a bunch of times, but in the Bakeria, it'll be entirely up to chance. And if that wasn't enough to discourage me, the emulator lag was getting really bad. Oh, you gotta love those load times. You gotta love them. I know I do. It gives me a moment to reflect. I think sometimes we get a little bit too caught up in the moment. Everything is so fast-paced. We're always getting notifications. See, look at this. This is time to reflect. Pies are great. Pies are really delightful and delicious. And for Pie Day, I ate a lot of them. And they were good. And I liked them. See? Look at all that reflection I just did. Now, I have to be honest here. Under the guise of peace, calm, and reflection was a deep and growing frustration that would only continue to fester. The emulator lag, my difficulties with the syrups and shakeables, and the seemingly random and inconsistent grading. It was all really starting to get to me. That thing was hanging on for dear life, just like I am. But still, I knew I needed to truck on, and getting 2 perfect scores from Akari and Austin on their syruped pies made me optimistic for the future. And boy did I need that, because I was still stuck on this one Burgerzilla level. No, we were so close. This is impossible. This is impossible. I hate this so much. Is this worse than Blenderable? You don't want that. You don't want that on your name, Burgerzilla. Come on, be kind. Be kind. Ow! No. What do you mean that missed? It was on the burger. Okay, I'm calm. Oh, yes. On our last minigame ticket, Bighead Benny redeemed himself, clutching up with a very structurally unsound burger that finally brought us to the bronze star. And with that squared away, it was time to prepare for the summer luau. I donned my crown and gave Benny a Viking helmet for fun before beginning our next holiday in high spirits. Summer luau, Utah! Let's go! Kumquats. Passion fruit filling. Oh, this is promising. The summer luau, it's speaking to me. It's speaking to me. Things were getting serious. I got perfect scores on Utah's passion fruit pie, Captain Corey's, and Trishna's. Please, this has been a perfect day. Please, Franco, have mercy. The world is so cruel. The world is so cruel. Still a crushing blow, yes, but the summer luau was fun and had culinarily appropriate ingredients, so I was genuinely having a great time. This is my favorite holiday. I feel like this is just, it's just beautiful. Oh my gosh. I'm like nervous because I feel like 100% is attainable and I'm kind of fumbling the bag. My general observation was that people were just ordering less syrup during the summer luau, and it was making perfect scores far more attainable. I need to lock in. Of course, though, you gotta have people like Chuck who tear you down down and give you a 99% build score. Normally, I'd slap Chuck on the hate list and move on with my life, but this day felt different. I was feeling optimistic, ready to give Chuck a second chance. So I reset the day, tried again, and nope, another 99. That's it, Chuck. Hate list permanently. And the timing couldn't be worse, because with the debut of the Luau Punch Drizzle, that short, beautiful period of syrup-free builds was officially over. Fine, we're fine. It's fine. The perfect service quality day was taking its toll on me, so I decided to make that future Charlie's problem and continued to focus on making progress in the game. This included adding new ingredients to the menu and serving specials to people who didn't order them in exchange for stickers, which, saying it out loud, sounds kind of ridiculous. Why have you made such incentives, Papa? But honestly, without the 100% day looming over me anymore, I was actually starting to enjoy myself again. Reaching the silver medal in Mitch's mess, collecting new funky specials from my favorite customers, and being promoted to Coconutty. Even Burgerzilla was getting better too, and Chuck, who I automatically assumed would ruin my day, actually granted me a perfect score. You're still on the hate list, but I appreciate the effort. Before I knew it, the Starlight Jubilee had arrived, and with a whopping $1,600 in my wallet, I felt like it was time for some retail therapy. I bought a cape and helmet for the Daredevil sticker just in case Boomer comes in craving some pie, and I also bought several Christmas trees for the Christmas in July sticker. It looks slightly vile. Just a little bit. It just kind of looks like caterpillars. I filled Boomer's red velvet crust with some of this suspect filling and earned the sticker for serving her in our matching getup. And in reviewing my sticker progress, which was already up to 60%, I made some important realizations. First, I never received the Christmas in July sticker despite all the trees in my lobby. As it turns out, I could only use Christmas decorations. Second, I totally forgot to serve Boomer a banana cream pie. A ginormous oopie on my part, especially because I can't control when Boomer comes back. As luck would have it though, Boomer returned the next day bearing a golden envelope. Naturally, I prepared her a banana cream pie she didn't ask for and earned myself the sticker, a new special, and a perfect score. And what's more, little Eduardo became our first gold star customer too. Lots of wins all around. But I was still determined to get this Christmas in July sticker, and in an effort to do it, I basically just turned my lobby into a forest. That looks like Christmas, right? I mean, how much more Christmas can you get? I will be so upset if we don't get it. Scooter! While Scooter moseyed through my many festive trees, I was finally awarded the Christmas in July sticker. They literally have to like walk through a forest just to get the counter. It quickly became evident though that this lobby design was not compatible with the current holiday, wherein customers started visiting wielding sparklers. Wait, this is a really flammable lobby. Alberto, you gotta get out of here. I sped through Alberto's pie to remove such a danger from my bakeria, only to create more myself by prepping Whiff's pie early and letting it burn for like 15 minutes so I could serve it to him right as he arrived. I am so sorry, Whiff, but also not really. Wally! Oh, wow. Whoa, that's a lot of blueberries. Oh, look at him! I love Wally. I threw extra blueberries onto Wally's blueberry cheesecake to show him some love and was honored with the title of Blueberry Baker. And with this promotion to rank 41, the holiday I'd been looking forward to for so long was finally here. Comet-Con. Fresh content! Naturally, I couldn't resist splurging for my first Comet-Con. I snapped up every space-themed item that caught my eye. Posters, rockets, tables, this funny little alien named Steve. Benny and I also needed a total makeover, and what better way to celebrate Comet-Con than by dressing up as a pair of aliens? With the Bakeria already, I greeted Iggy and took stock of our new blackberry bark and starfruit filling. And I also noticed a new pop-up shop had appeared right next door. Planet Zol's tabletop and card games. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Did you see that rocket ship? Oh my god, he's got a lightsaber. Iggy's purple and neon green pie filling stuffed inside a creamy-o crust definitely fit the Comet-Con vibe. My toppings still weren't scoring well, but that is an issue I wasn't about to bring attention to. I'm not even gonna say anything because Iggy's got a whole lightsaber. All in all, my first day of Comet-Con was a huge success, and by this point, I'd met 2/3 of the customers, completed 2/3 of the stickers, and had just under half of the specials left to learn. That perfect service quality day, though, we will not be talking about. My only quest for day 68 was to serve Quinn's pie right as she arrived. With everything ready to go, I just waited for her to walk in and then served off this terrible creation to obtain my hot and ready sticker. Okay, I mean, no, but okay. I've had astronaut ice cream once, and all I remember is that it was, like, incredibly chalky. I'm not sure that that would be an asset on a pie. Other notable menu additions included hyper green syrup and planet cookies. Thankfully, these were the last of our space-themed toppings, which meant we were gravitating back to the category of foods that exist in real life. Personally, I could see a kiwi pie being really tasty, but putting the crater crust on that thing instantly made it look like this pie was infected with the Kara bacterium from Subnautica or something, and the memory of glowing green pustules and skin irritation was not very appetizing to me. With the Luau Punch special collected from Matt and another Gold Star customer on the board, we moved to the next day and welcomed Sarge Fan alongside Huckleberry Syrup, the last of the standard syrups and creams. And I know I have my favorite character mainstays like Wally, Utah, Gremmy, and the gang, but I did a little research on Sarge Fan, and I'm kind of a Sarge Fan fan. He lives in Onion Town, loves onions, hates rules, and has an unnamed grandmother. Don't we all, Sarge? Don't we all? His love for Sergeant Crushita Pepper, the onion ringleader from the original Papa Louie games, which I actually did play on the channel and it was super fun and wacky, is so deep that he hired Quinn, a lawyer, to legally change his name to Sarge Fan. Sarge Fan aside, Comet-Con was coming to an end and we were starting to gear up for yet another holiday I'd never seen, Groovstock. Of course, I changed up the lobby, placed some posters, and got Benny and I ready just in time for what I assumed to be Rice Krispie Crust and Fig Jam.
That is my son.
Fig Jam and Rice Krispie Treat Crust isn't pie, it's just a Fig Newton in disguise. And frankly, my beloved son Figglesworth Smeep Newton would be deeply insulted by this betrayal. We continued to make fantastic progress, steadily earning and mastering specials, bringing the total to 20 so far.
That is my son.
And as expected, the Groovstock Festival was drawing in some local talent like Rudy, the bassist for Scarlet and the Shakers, as well as music notes. After all, isn't music basically just arranging notes on the buttery crust of life? I can't believe I wrote that. Little nuggets of wisdom like that are why Papa promoted me to the rank of musician. Just musician, nothing else, that's it. With my new appointment, I had no problem spotting Mitch's ukulele and sorted through the rest of his mess to get my first minigame gold medal. The talent continued to come in with Clover, and a dozen little marshmallows later, I'd finally earned the sticker for serving every member of Scarlet and the Shakers. I'm gonna be honest, the ranks for this game are all over the place. Papa was in his lazy rank era. I literally went from musician to rhubarbarian, and with just the addition of some grape jelly cookies, I suddenly became a cookie champ? Will I ever know peace? Also, little cookie clicker update. At this point, I was waiting for my crumb spores to grow and hopefully mutate into a dough shroom or wrinkle gill in my first attempt at speed sacking my garden for sugar lumps. I cannot possibly explain this right now, you will just have to watch the video. Having reached rank 51, it was once again time to move on to the next holiday, and this one was an oldie but a goodie. Except in Pizzeria, I don't wish to speak on that. It's Halloween, baby! I will say, the costume selection in Bakeria is severely lacking.
Okay, not a fantastic selection.
You're basically limited to, pumpkin, witch, or skeleton. And in Benny's case, a witch-skeleton hybrid. Had to get creative. With the lobby sufficiently decorated, we opened up our doors to Willow, and going along with the cookie theme, added chocolate chip crust to the menu as well as shadowberry filling. Also, I wasn't kidding when I said the costume choices are mid. Look at Mayor Mallow walking around wearing literally a bed sheet with eye holes in it.
Mayor Mallow has never looked so unnatural as in that moment.
As disappointing as the costumes are, this is the first Halloween in a Papa's game that I've been genuinely scared.
What is that ghostly specter? Did anybody else see that?
It's like the weeping angels. I still haven't even healed from that. But the next morning,
Remy! Oh, Scream Cream? That's nasty. Day 86, my god, we have to wait so much for Gremmy these days. It's a travesty. I don't understand the concept of Scream Cream. Is it like in Monsters, Inc. where they like can children's screams, but on your pie?
In spite of the curdled screams of children encircling her pie, Ember was very pleased, awarding us the sticker for serving 20 customers while wearing Halloween clothing. To end off the day, I returned to some Rico's Chili Works, finally reaching the Gold Star medal and earning a gold medal in the process. With candy corn, the last of the Halloween toppings, and citrus zest, the last of the standard pourables added to the menu, things were really starting to pick up. The Gold Star and Strikeout, the Silver Star and Halloween Shot, and even some stickers getting added to the mix too, like the one for serving Tony a Neapolitan pie. This was possibly my happiest stretch of time working in the Bakeria, but everything changed on day 90 when Ninjoy strolled up to the counter. After the initial shock of learning about her relationship with Dynamo so many weeks ago, I was still recovering, especially because it turns out it was canonical. I had no choice but to accept it and move on to greener pastures, but it didn't make the heartbreak any less painful. In this bleak moment, I needed some light, a little bit of hope. So when hope literally showed up right after Ninjoy, it felt like a sign. Maybe dating a supervillain and being an evil henchman wasn't my calling. And maybe my perfect match is still out there in the Papaverse just waiting for me. Without an ounce of spite or resentment in my heart, I made Ninjoy's pie to the best of my ability. And still got a 99. What do you expect? With a gold star earned in Slider Escape that evening, I noticed that it was somehow already Thanksgiving. And in the spirit, Benny and I dressed up in our favorite brown and dark green shirts and raccoon caps. Nothing says the season of gratitude more than earth tones and taxidermy. Throughout the course of the season, I placed numerous leaf-shaped cookies on pie after pie and earned the title of Leaf Raker, which feels like a massive downgrade from pumpkin improv. Like, you put a couple chocolate acorns on a pie, the final Thanksgiving topping, by the way. Boom, you're an acorn collector. In just a few weeks, I'd gone from planet hopper to musician to a groundskeeper to basically just a squirrel. Still, though, I couldn't be mad because shortly after, I acquired the peanut butter swirl crust and peanut butter fluff, the last of our standard pie fillings. With all these peanutty things, I'd also unlocked a new sticker to serve Big Polly a pie with every single peanut menu item. Simultaneously, I was also keeping an eye out for Yippee to get the Cookie Scout sticker, and thankfully, she happened to show up the following day. With a creamy-o crust and some grape jelly cookies on our pie, we knocked another achievement off the list, and in celebration, removed the raccoon hats from our heads to prepare for Christmas. Replacing them with Santa hats, we were already in the holiday spirit, so the addition of our final holiday crust flavor and the peppermint swirl cream were just an added bonus. Also, oh my gosh, Santa has his own little mall set up to take pictures. That is so precious. I must have definitely been on Santa's nice list this year because he gave me a perfect score. I got a special from Gremmy, the Prune Creek, whatever that is. And I also got many new Christmas toppings and finally made it to day 100. That's 100 days of Papa's Bakeria without a perfect service quality day. For this milestone, I changed the special to the Prune Creek, which is apparently named after the Prune Creek retirement home where Sarge Fan's unnamed grandmother lives, as well as Gino Romano's mom, Florentina. So that's Olga's sister-in-law, because Olga's married to little Eduardo, whose late brother is Florentina's husband. Got it? Good. With Olga on the roster and the Santa's Helper sticker earned from Rita for serving customers dressed as the big guy himself, we only had 2 customers and 8 stickers left to obtain. As for the 100% service day, I still don't want to talk about it. To be fair, my meringue is getting much better. Like, look at how confidently I cover the surface of this pie. With Big Polly's peanutty pie served up, I witnessed every ounce of joy leave his body before having all of my joy sapped from me by this horrific round of Halloween shot. But then... What is this? Empty pie pans, empty pie pans. Christmas tree, I don't know where that came from. What do you... Whoa! Oh my gosh! I just got real estate for Christmas? Oh my gosh, Papa is so generous. Papa is so kind. So what does this mean for my employment at the Bakeria? I'm just wondering. Roy, poor guy. Wait, so I work at a video game store now? Did this just become like a different game? That would actually be very convenient because I still haven't gotten the 100% day and I'm not sure that I want to or can physically. Papa! Oh, he has like a little ugly Christmas sweater, but not ugly because it's on Papa. So, Papa Louie! Oh my god, what? Oh my gosh, we got all the crusts. Oh, my store is right next door. Oh, so I have to continue being employed is what you're saying. How am I gonna run both of these shops? What? This was our first order from the Papa Louie himself, and I was determined to make it perfectly to show off the progress I'd made thus far. And his beautiful creamy-o peppermint pie got 99. Well, that doesn't bode well, but at least I served all the customers. I was kind of embarrassed by that first pie for Papa, I'll be honest, so I decided it was finally time to continue perfecting my craft. Now, I know I promised never to swirl again, but desperate times call for desperate measures, and this time, it was perfect. Wait a minute. I may have just cracked the spiral code. Though I struggled to replicate this success, I had a feeling deep down that the spiral outside in was my path to perfection. Ending off the day with my 15th gold star customer, I felt really good about my chances. I even took Papa's order again, and this time, another 99. Look, I'm still workshopping the spiral, okay? And on the eve of the New Year's Eve, one could say, we were officially deemed better than Papa. Adorning the lobby with rainbow street lamps, I prepared the shop for our next holiday, and you know what they say? New year, new version of me that has the ability to do a perfect syrup spiral. With another gold star customer and the gold star in Burgerzilla, I got my first good look at my new video game store, which, is that thing even operational? Literally nobody is going in, and I kinda get why. In any case, this was my new beginning, and it all started with Rudy, specifically serving Rudy the Ruby Tuber special for the Rudy Tuber sticker, and then earning a special from Boomer. Oh my gosh, no way. That's a New England classic. I did not expect that. And also, I do not know how it translates to pie. But my primary goal was perfecting the swirl. And with some experimentation, I landed on this approach where I start out with wide circles and kind of bunch it up as I get closer to the center. Something about this center-heavy distribution works really well. Even Radlin, a closer, gave it a perfect score. Still though, I could just tell something was missing. A crucial piece of gear that would unlock my full pie baking capabilities. And that's when Iggy came in, handing me a gaming glove for perfecting the Granny Smith special. Maybe that's all I needed. Okay. I'm Gotta put the gloves on. Okay, I'm locked in. With the gaming glove equipped, I changed the special to the Fluffernutter to gain favor from my New England ancestors. And using my 20-hole minigame tickets, I pressed on, tanking my way through Halloween Shot and reaching the gold star medal at last, which meant we'd officially completed every Foodini minigame. On day 110, I earned the Graceland King special from Sienna, and I was honestly getting perfect scores on a very consistent basis. Before giving the perfect service day another go, however, I set my sights on serving Penny a pina colada and earning our last customer-based achievement. I could literally see her moseying around in the background. Please, Penny, come buy a pie, please. I did have a promising run with the hundreds across the board, except from Yippee. That is 7 out of 8 orders, totally perfect. And even though I wasn't technically shooting for the perfect day, I was pretty devastated by this. With St. Paddy's Day coming up again though, I decided to fill the lobby with pots of gold and lots of green to hopefully gain an extra bit of luck. Instead of helping my cause though, I got a day with 2 meringue orders, which still were the absolute bane of my existence. Okay, we're gonna try this again, and no meringue today. Meringue is not on the menu, okay? Vicky, I'm talking to you. Quick question, Edna. Do you hear me when I speak? As expected, Edna gave me a 99 on the topping station, but I was not gonna let that get me down. With 1 special left to collect and almost all of them 5-starred, we still had not seen Penny. In fact, Giorgito pulled up with the 40th and final special, and Penny was still a no-show. Nothing on day 121 or day 122, and at last, on day 123, she strolls up to the counter and places an order. I served her pina colada and obtained our 90th and final sticker achievement. For the first time in my Bighead career, I'd collected every sticker before getting my 100% day. However, with no more stickers to worry about, I was ready to dedicate my full and undivided attention into achieving this perfect day. I was ready to sit here and reset day 124 until the deed was done. Surely, the Cleister Bunny will be kind. Okay. I wasn't even that far into my second attempt when Vicky pulled up and just had to order meringue on her pie. Vicky, no, no, no. Vicky, you're so icky. Wait, there's literally a song about you already. But this didn't even matter in the end because Kingsley's pie received a 99 topping score, ruining the run. My third attempt went just as bad as the last 2. It seemed like Vicky coming in and ordering meringue was an unalterable fact of life and was killing my run every time. And for this, welcome to the hate list. Given this discovery, I decided to play to the next day and just pray that Vicky finds something better to do, but this time it was Mary who screwed me over. Thankfully, my next attempt at day 125 started with Cletus instead, who gave me a perfect score, but it was none other than Gremmy, who took issue with the build score of all things that ruined the run. Attempt number 6 was actually going smoothly until Mindy screwed it up, and at this point, I was in like a full-on state of despair. Emotionally, physically, I was experiencing pretty bad nose dryness because I kept holding my breath during every topping placement, and was even listening to lo-fi beats to calm myself. But the video was called I'll Do It Tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. And that just felt kind of personal, given that I was stuck on day 125 and all. It was all really getting to me. I would be doing so well, and it would just take one single missed point to plunge me back into despair. I had been chasing this 100% service quality day for, I kid you not, 6 real-life days straight. Many times, I considered just doing away with the perfect day altogether, but then a glimmer of hope. During my research, I read that some holidays are easier than others based on the seasonal selection of ingredients, something we'd actually experienced in the beginning of our playthrough. Easter was definitely not it, so I hatched a plan to play until the Cherry Blossom Festival, and right off the bat, we added a new little buddy to the hate list. Enjoy your stay, Austin. Even if the Cherry Blossom Festival was easier, the change of holiday wasn't doing me any favors due to the immense lag. So I took things one step further and booted up my game in another emulator to hopefully minimize the lag, and the results were not super promising. Hello? May I bake pies? I see the light! It's happening! Hello? Didn't work out very well, so back to the old horrible emulator it was. Still, I was resetting the entire emulator before each attempt, which did help, but it really is just the cruel nature of this game that you can get 4 perfect scores, feel awesome about yourself, and then have all your hopes and dreams dashed by an old Italian man who didn't like the caramel drizzle on his pecan pie. I hope little Eduardo rots in the pits of hell. I was racking my brains, trying to optimize in any way I could, and it seemed like the Southern Pecan wasn't doing me any favors. So I changed the special to the Derby Pie, which only required a chocolate crumb topping and 9 chocolate whipped cream dollops. This switch up brought much more success, and for a moment, I even thought to myself, this is it, I've cracked it. But I couldn't have been further from the truth. The deep, cavernous despair I felt over pixel pies at this point is honestly impossible to describe. I did my very best to truck on, reaching attempt number 20 me on day 132 where, of course, Austin screwed everything up. Oh, your place on the hate list is permanent. No other dimensional forgiveness for you, pal. Maggie walked in at the start of my 23rd attempt, and I literally just ended the run right there because her order was a point off literally every single time. And even when I did begrudgingly accept her order, freaking Crystal gave me a 99 before I could even start on Maggie's pie. The people in this mall are truly terrible. Even Papa dropped a 97% build score on his Derby pie. Following many failures, we're at what, 40 now? I decided to move on to the summer luau holiday in the hopes that those festive ingredients would give me an easier time. And early signs indicated that this was not the case. Even Wally, who I thought I could trust, gave me imperfect scores on 2 stations. I'd been doing this for days, just resetting the day over and over and over again and doing nothing else but making pies. I was genuinely at my wit's end. It was getting so bad that I eventually said, screw it. Let's start a new game file. Maybe I can get a perfect day in the first week after the tutorial and call it good. I named myself Angie Head Charlie for obvious reasons and crawled my way through the tutorial week, which was in itself a form of torture. I'm playing Papa's Bakeria again. Remember this game that we already played? We're playing it again. I don't even have any money to put a poster on the wall, so run it. Okay, we're gonna have to make these like obscenely fast because we have nothing on the wall to entertain them, and these are like, these people have the attention span of something with a short attention span. Stop, don't talk to me. Big Polly, hi, welcome. Are you planning on being impatient today again? I know how to drag the ticket onto the hook. I'm sorry, that was uncalled for. I cannot make this up. The lag was so bad in the other file that the lack of lag, otherwise known as the normal game speed, was totally throwing me off. After a round of Rico's Chili Works, I earned myself some lobby decorations, which would hopefully help my weight scores as I entered day 3. I feel like I'm landing a plane right now. Special recipe, I haven't heard that name in years. I'm not here to play the game. I'm not here to play the game. It feels like this game doesn't even know who I am right now. I'll have you know, I know the Papa, and Papa bought me my own video game store. So I'd watch who you're talking to. Oh my god, I just ruined this pie. I actually just ruined this pie. Attempt number 53 ended with an 80% baking score, which I blame on Papa for not fully equipping the ovens before opening his business. But with $300 in tips, I figured the first cook booster and bake alarm would make a huge difference. And what a difference it made, huh? 3 consecutive L's from Franco. Say it with me, everyone. Get on to the hate list with you, foul beast. Restarting the game turned out to be harder and more demoralizing than I initially imagined, so I returned to my original save file. And I don't think you'll be surprised at all to hear that it wasn't going any better. I was so confident in my swirl, but every time someone would come in and just dole my sparkle. That is my 66th attempt. Number 67, though, was off to a shockingly good start. Perfect pies for Kahuna, Doan, Nick, Utah, Olivia, Hugo. But the time I'd spent making and remaking their pies was catching up to me, and my last 2 orders of the day, the orders that could have put this nightmare to a merciful end, got docked on waiting scores. I can't even blame Yui. I literally served the closer's pie before hers. We were getting extremely close to our perfect day, and it was in this moment before attempt 69 that the words of Paddy LaBelle came rushing back to me. Live with love, cook with soul, and get more of the good life. That was what I'd been missing this whole time. The soul with which to cook. And with the words of Paddy lifting my spirits and spurring me on, I began our next attempt. 100 from Hacky Zach. 100 from Chuck, who's always causing issues, frankly. Perfect pies for Greg, Roy, and Johnny. And with a perfect score from Nick, it was down to the final customer, Radlin, and her dragon fruit strawberry pie. I carefully filled her red velvet crust, lining up the lattice in the exact center, and while that baked, I made another backup pie, just in case something went wrong. And this turned out to be a clutch move, because my first attempt at the crushed strawberry wafers was incredibly uneven and definitely not perfect score worthy. I tossed it in the trash, pulled up my backup pie, and tried once again, nailing the wafers. I was shaking and sweating at this point over pixel pies, may I remind you. And carefully, I placed the 8 madeleines and 8 raspberries on top, and from here, all I could do was pray. And somehow, I had done it! Paddy was right, and I was finally getting more of the good life. Oh my god. I feel nothing. And it flew away. It flew away in 5 seconds. I feel nothing, and yet simultaneously I feel so free. After over a week of doing nothing but grinding for this moment, I didn't even have the energy to celebrate. I was simply incredulous, not only because it was finally over, but because all in all, it took exactly 69 attempts to get the perfect day. The universe is literally laughing at me. I spent a couple more hours perfecting all the specials, and with the Graceland King at 5 stars, we'd reached the end of our Bakeria journey at last.
Just like that, we'd officially completed 100% of Papa's Bakeria, undoubtedly the most difficult and mentally taxing Papa's game I've taken on yet. I truly put so many hours into this video, so I very much hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching. And thank you again to Holtzkern for sponsoring this video. Make sure to click the link below and use my code Charlie for 15% off the entire website. Definitely go check out some of my other videos 100%ing the Papa's games, and I will see you there. Bye!